blushing, give you a sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching, you do. Show me something, give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how that this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk. You need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long, right here with you way too long. Don't want nothing here or now, but I'm done waiting, done wasting my time. Got this sweet talk, I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Talk to me nice, talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes, don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. We time, you I know how to make me feel right. I can't help how that this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. Why you blushing? Give you a sweet concussion. Oh, you miss my touching, you do. Show me something, give me more than one thing. I need more than less than I do. Say you're a good guy, make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it, I wanna see it. See how rewind, when we rewind, it feels so nice. I can't help how that this sweet talk. I'm already on my way. I'm pulling up, don't be late. I'm cutting through all the lanes. Sweet talk, you need to say less to me. No need for no flowers, babe. I'm already on my way, on my way. We've been dancing all night long, right here with you.
Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing all right. Let me actually put this back on the daily chart for us. Turn down my music just a little bit. I got some Studio Ghibli vibes going on in my head right now. It's been one of those days where you have a lot of intense stuff. You're doing like really heavy work, and then you get to some fun in there, some really intense work, some fun, kind of going back and forth. But overall, guys, it's been a good day. Thanks for asking. So let's talk about Bitcoin, guys. I was actually just talking to Babyfish a little bit ago, and you've seen a bunch, and I mean a bunch of YouTubers out there saying this is the bottom. This is where you guys want to be buying at, and I'm going to kind of explain their viewpoints because they're not wrong if you're looking at it from their perspective, right? We all have different perspectives of how we see the market here. I'm looking more of like macro view of it. They're looking more of it a micro view, and their arguments do have some merit now that we've actually fallen down to a level of support. You guys knew that I didn't really find a reason to be trading this specific trend line here. I know it held, but it never seemed to me like it's something that would really hold in the long term here. That's why for the first, like all of this stuff we never even used this trend line until we were coming back over here because it never made sense for me to really want to use it there. Mostly we were trading certain breakouts and things like that, or Fibonacci levels. But right now, what a lot of the bulls are really hoping for is, now that we kind of found the support level here, let me actually get rid of this line right here. We don't need it for this discussion. And let's bring that right down there. All right. Now that we've kind of come back down here a little bit, they're hoping that now we can kind of start this cycle again, where we come, go up, down, but still staying within these two channels here. That's what the bulls are really hoping for at this moment. And that's why, well, I haven't seen anybody actually say they're buying at these levels. I have been buying at these levels, but for different reasons here. Definitely longer term plays and kind of more rebound plays, if you will. But I do think, going over to the survey question of the day here, have you guys been buying for long-term, long-term investments in the crypto market so far this year? Right now it says 62% say yes, probably the rest say no, I assume. You guys should get started on some type of schedule where you guys are investing a little bit into the market every week, every month, whatever you guys feel most comfortable with. If you guys have more time to actually spend looking at the market and the charts like I do, maybe you have take the train to work like I used to, or take the bus to work, something like that. You might have an opportunity to see a large dip. You may be able to buy some crypto there and be able to make some money on the in the long term here, because what we're normally looking for here as far as Bitcoin's concerned is, let's go back to the weekly chart. We usually have a wonderful rally. This is where the new traders kind of hop into the market. Here, and here, and then they tend to get demolished on the downtrend because they've never learned to actually have a stop loss. They've never learned to actually sell a position. Right? They just assume it's going to keep on going up and up again. And then we have these kind of larger crashes. You can call these crashes, right? Big moves down where people are really freaked out. Then we consolidate, and people are those same traders that bought up here, they're too afraid to buy over here. Right? They're too afraid to buy over here. And then by the time we start rallying up again, then they're starting to buy here or even here just to fall for the same trick again, if you will. It's not really a trick, but you get what I'm saying there. And so at this moment of time, you can clearly see, we normally have these big old dips here. If I can actually bring up my little, there we go. All right. We have these little scoops right. Okay. Oh, my magnet's on. That's what it is. And we've had like a little move right there. But will we have another one here? That's really the big thing we're looking for at the moment. Let me get rid of these because these are not turned out the way I wanted them to, mostly because that magnet there. But, I think we're due for some type of drop like this, right? I could be completely wrong. Maybe there's so much institutional money right now in crypto that we're really just not going to see a large downward move like that. And that's what the bullish case is, right? The case that I'm wrong. And other bears like me are wrong. I'm not the only person that's a bear on YouTube or on Twitter or Instagram, wherever we all are. But that's what the bulls are thinking right now, that we can kind of scoop up here and kind of move up a little bit stronger. For you guys, I told you guys I've been buying here, like just buying everywhere. I've even bought some here that I'm still holding on to here. I've been buying all over the place. My philosophy is anything I buy here. When Bitcoin's at $1 million in like 10 years or whatever, is it really going to matter if I bought at 39,000 versus 52,000? I mean, I really don't think it's going to make too much of a difference on my part. But here, oh, sorry guys. I talked too much over the last few days with that earnings play stuff, so now my voice is kind of raspy. Let me take a quick sip of tea here. I got some Gen matcha tea. But, and one thing here, as far as the what the Bears, or excuse me, what the Bulls are kind of hoping for, which I think is actually pretty interesting here. We talk about this every now and again, but I don't think of it in terms of technicals, if this makes sense. You know how over the past few, I guess, years since I've been doing YouTube, every once in a while we talk about, hey, there was a lot of red candles on the weekly chart going in the same way. Normally we don't have more than 3 or 4 bad weeks in a row. Usually that's pretty weird to have more than 3. When's the last time we had, besides now, when's the last time we had 4 bad weeks? Not any time in the last few years have we had 4 bad weeks. Right here, 2020. That's a long time away. I mean, that's a long time ago. Before that, 2019. So it's rare that we do have these longer candles like this going down for so long. And one thing you may look at here is we are slowing down. That's good to see. We still have 3 days left, so if we actually close down closer to this line, that's probably not going to be a good sign. But for the bull case now, guys, if you guys did want to start buying some up for with some type of stop loss, you guys could start doing that if you wanted to. You guys know I've been buying. I've actually been buying more in the stock market here. Actually, can I show that to you? Robinhood dropped down a good amount today because it has earnings coming out tomorrow. So I added a decent amount of Robinhood into my, well, a small amount of Robinhood into my portfolio. No, this is more. I bet like $2,000 into Robinhood today, so it's it's a pretty decent chunk. This is like a 10-year plus play on my part, and on top of that, I do want to add like another $2,000 into it, but it has earnings tomorrow after market closes. If this were to soar for whatever reason tomorrow, I don't want to be stuck not having a position in it. So it's kind of a risky play by me, but I'm thinking more in long term as far as Robinhood's concerned. But for now, guys, here's what we're looking at. Well, actually, we'll pull out the Fibonacci extension tool again. I think this is actually pretty fun for us lately. Let's add up a couple levels right here. You can see according to this level, we were aiming for the 1. We hit the 1 now. Now we kind of found support right over here. Maybe if we close above this, that'll be a good sign for us, right? Because you see last time it was, it was resistance for us, actually. But one thing I was thinking about doing now is, will this make much of a difference? No, we actually broke that low, didn't we? Huh. All right, let me get out of here very fast. Back over here now, yeah. If we do have some type of reversal here, guys, I think it's more likely that we get snapped. We get stopped up here at about 45,689 or so, rather than the level up. If I actually uncheck this box here, up here at the $48,000 level, I think it's more likely that we kind of stay down here for a little bit, get rejected. Then maybe if we are going to have a good May, it would be kind of going into like the last 2 to 3 weeks of May is where we would have a really nice rally starting to take off there, or maybe we get all the way back up to 52,000, and that's again the bullish case. But in order for that to happen here, let's kind of reset all this stuff here. We do want to stay above this 20-month moving average here. We have 2 days and 24 hours left. The price to beat here, guys, if I can pull this back up as well. Let me get the Bitcoin price there, and let's get the Dogecoin price up there. The price to beat is 40,204. That's not too far away from us right now, so we can definitely stay above this again. Again, we're not looking for. I don't think we're going to have a good May, particularly personally, but we'll see what happens. This was last May. This was last May here. Last May. This was March. This is April. April. We didn't really do much here this April though, but if history repeats itself, last May might not be too good. But normally May is here's March, here's April, here's May. May right there. May right here. So, get mixed results. I think I have a picture somewhere on my screen. I do actually have it here. Image. Nope, that's some type of pattern behind my head. That's fine. But right now, that's really what I'm watching here right now, guys. So not much new stuff from yesterday. Just keep an eye on your altcoins, guys. If for whatever reason Bitcoin does tank over the next few weeks, those altcoins are going to get hit hard. I don't really care if my Bitcoin goes up or down much, but my altcoins, I tend to notice those more just because on the percentage side, they do seem to decrease a lot more than Bitcoin. And if you guys go over here to coinmarket.com, and we go over here to, I haven't done this in a hot minute, so pardon me for this. Where are we going? Oh, there we go. No, this one here. Dominance, my bad. Uh, there you go. Sorry, I had to double click on it. Market cap wise, or dominance, excuse me, for Bitcoin. Let's actually go over here. Pretty much this. I guess we can go from starting from last year, kind of moving on to now. Bitcoin dominance has kind of been doing nothing over the last few months here. This is April, this is January, this is December. Not much has been happening with Bitcoin dominance. We're kind of leveled out, which is kind of nice after the kind of big tank that we had back in January. But not much has changed. You're seeing altcoins kind of do a little bit of stuff here, but what else do we have here? Anything else of interest? Let me get Tether out of there. USD, Sol, XRP. Let me get all this stuff out of here. And we just go, yeah, did we just go with others and versus Bitcoin? There you go. We've just been a little too stagnant over the past few months, and nothing's really been going on. This is a glitch or something like that, but maybe we might see Bitcoin dominance trick up here if Bitcoin were to have a larger move, and that'd be really good for us because that means all the altcoins against Bitcoin would be very very cheap. So whenever we did have a rally back up, that's where the good stuff would start to be occurring for us again. All right, let me put this back over here. Not much there. Which fib am I using for this one? Oh, sorry. My ice machine's making ice, and I thought I heard a weird sound because of it. All right, let me go back over here. Yeah. But if we're going off of what's like the technicals for the next few hours, guys, this is just what I would show you that I have on my charts right now. Here's a 4-hour chart. Actually, what might be this one? We can start off with a trend line right now. Let's not even do that. That's a little too long term if you ask me. There you go. This is what I'd be looking at in the 4-hour chart here to see if Bitcoin could make a move. If we could break above this, then maybe we can just get back up here towards $43,000 or so. And this would be down the road, of course, because definitely this would be something harder to break out above. But if we can just start going sideways for a little bit, then we have an opportunity to have a fall in reversal. Earnings this week have been mixed. We were really banking on them being like good if the bulls really wanted to have a really swell week, if you will. They've been more mixed, which is leading people to kind of have mixed emotions about the market, which is kind of leading to uncertainty, which is still not helping out the market too much. That's why you saw Bitcoin kind of come up a little bit. Again, this is a 4-hour chart, but I mean, it really hasn't done a lot here, right? Just turn it back into auto, put it into perspective. We really haven't had too much of a recovery after all the bad stuff, but we're still in a decent zone. We're not in a kind of we're in a dangerous spot here on the monthly and weekly charts, but on the daily charts and the 4-hour charts, we're just kind of moseying on through a basic support level here. All right, but there we go. All right, but there we go, guys. If you guys want to talk about anything, that this will be today. I don't really have much new stuff to talk about, to be frank with you guys. It's I mean, I could make something up here, but the technicals are still in line. We're still at that support level here. We're waiting for earnings to come out tomorrow again for some more earnings. Google was bad yesterday. Microsoft was, well, okay, so Microsoft was good, excuse me. Facebook was bad and good. Facebook was bad on the revenue, but good on users. So people were using Facebook, which is good. They weren't like still leaving it. But their earnings were worse. Google's earnings were bad on YouTube as well. So that is something there. And you've also been seeing that people are spending less money on certain. People are starting to have to make choices of where they put their money. You saw that a little bit with Netflix, and you're going to probably see that with other things coming on along in the week. Excuse me. My voice is a lot of it today, guys. Sorry. Uh, hey, Monica. Oh, Monica. So the issue with the BGB is their system isn't graying it out anymore, and I asked them if they could just turn that back on, and they are going to. So basically, they have a limited amount of spots. With BGB Earn, they were all taken up really fast because everybody wants to do it, but they just didn't gray them out like they did before, so you had no idea that they're filled up, if that makes sense. Hey Jay, hey Square Bagels, hey Jim Bob, hey Bideford, good evening. Weather is so bad in Oregon lately, I can actually catch your streams again, like 7 o'clock start too. What do you call over here in Washington, the lakes are like at record lows or something like that. The lakes are really really bad, and I like to go fishing. So I went to my normal fishing spot a couple weeks ago, and where I normally would fish, I had to walk like an extra like 15, 20 feet to get down to where the water was, and it was not good. I hope we can get some good rain this year because the droughts, guys, are getting really bad over here on the West Coast. It was even worse last year, though, right? But I guess I'll be moving to Belize next year, so that'll be fun in itself. Let's see. I have limit order set for Bitcoin at the white trending line at the bottom, or 36K. Next will probably be 33K. Yeah, it'll be fun to do those trades, especially on the first bounce. The first bounce is usually the best. Then the second time we approach those trend lines, where things get really bad. Just think about this little dip that we had yesterday, right, or a couple days ago. What happened? We broke down a few days ago, and I was like, "Hey guys, we officially broke down from here." Even though the market kind of pumped us up because Bitcoin's been correlating a lot with the Nasdaq, just because the market pumped us back up. The next time we come back down here, you don't want to be buying, you'd rather be shorting, and lo and behold, here we are, right? You even saw the whales take full advantage of that as well, but I think the whales were timing it more with earnings rather than just the technicals that we look at here. Hey, teaser. It's weird that you asked that question though, because I just started thinking long term and what it would be like to buy. Created a whole, or what I would like to buy. Creating a whole Google Sheets and started making small positions. That's amazing, right? And remember, all of your long term portfolios are going to start off as really small little things, right? My first Bitcoin purchase was just $100 on Coinbase, and that was in 2000, like 14, 15, no, excuse me, not that bad. 2018. No, I wish I could have gotten Bitcoin in 2014. 2018. That was my first one, just like $100, just to kind of see where it went. And I'm still holding that $100 to this day, right? Now I've added on to it quite a bit, of course. But it'll start off small, and then with those long-term positions, then what you guys are most likely going to do is you guys are searching through all this information. It's good to just take like a couple hours out of your week, most likely on a Saturday or Sunday. For most people, they have that free time there with no stress involved. You're going to go over and you're going to look for projects. You're going to join Discords, Telegrams, get to know people, get friends, engage in that community. And you're going to find out what each other are kind of hoping for the long term. But just realize, guys, if you guys do start your own long-term portfolios, it's okay just to pop in $50 to a coin, $100 to a coin. You don't have to go in like, $5,000, $10,000 for a long-term plan, any specific coin. You don't need to do that at all. You can spread that money out, have fun with it, do it at your own pace. And definitely, for most people, what I did, paycheck to paycheck. Every paycheck, I find some random coin to invest in. If it does well, I do good. If it doesn't, it just kind of stays stagnant or goes down to zero, right? Let's see. Hey, teaser, I will check it out later in Discord. Whenever I click on links in YouTube, it screens them for me for some reason because I'm the channel owner, and so it takes me to a YouTube page saying, "Hey, you can't go here." I don't know why it does it, but I see the docs link, but I just can't actually click on it. Otherwise, it'll take me somewhere where I can't do it. I don't know why it does it, but it's extremely annoying. So just send it over to me in Discord, and I'll take a look at it sometime after this stream, probably maybe like an hour after the stream or something like that. After I take Loki out. Let's see. You got point one everything. That's awesome, chef. And let's see right here. Thoughts on Twitter? What specifically about Twitter? I would not buy Twitter at this point in time. The rally's already happened as far as Twitter's been concerned. I don't see the need to buy Twitter as a stock. As far as Twitter as a company down the road after, it's off the market, so to speak. Um, I think the platform will see a shift after all this kind of craziness kind of dies down, where it is a better product, which will generate more revenue. That's down the road, but who knows when Elon's going to try to put it back on the public market, right? I don't even think he ever will put it back on the public market unless he really sees some type of crazy way to make money off of it. Um, yeah, there's just a lot of drama around Twitter right now, and I wouldn't touch it specifically because earnings are coming up, and I mean the price is already kind of has a cap because that's what Elon's going to buy it out for, right? So like $54. Excuse me, guys. It already has a max, so the only thing it can do is fall, right? The only thing it can do is fall. So I wouldn't be touching Twitter right now at all. I like the story behind it. I like Elon Musk buying it, but as far as a play right now, I wouldn't really feel comfortable playing that from a trader's perspective here. Let's see. And hey, David bought some more Doge and ADA. There you go. Also made a nice puff on Ape. All out of Ape now. There's a lot of people pulling out of Ape right now after it's had this miraculously slow run here. Maybe it'll find another good. People will find another good buying opportunity here for it. But man, that thing has definitely soared, and now the market cap is becoming a problem. That's the main issue with Ape Coin right now. It just has a high market cap, and people aren't seeing those fantastic returns that they wanted to see back when I was buying it at $10 and selling it at 15. Those are the returns you really wanted to see. Now for the people that would be buying right now, like buying the stuff you sold because you're the smart person that sells at the right time. Let's go to the 1 month here for Ape, right? Now the market cap is like 5 billion. It can still go up higher, but the chances of that, while Bitcoin's kind of in this scary, choppy place, people are going to be a little bit more worried, just hesitant, I guess you would say. But there's still time for profit here, right? I mean, look at this. It's up to like 20 bucks almost. I think it already went up to 20 bucks or close to it. It's definitely been a great return. It's been a great investment for a lot of people. You just can't work when it rains, square bagels. Oh, geez, that sucks. Um, it's been raining a little bit over here in Washington, but not as much as I think we needed to. I just want it to kind of rain more in the natural areas. I hate when it rains outside because then I got to take Loki outside, and he'll just walk outside, get in the rain, or like, what the heck is this? And then just stare at me, and then just walk back in. Then I got to like, dude, let's go out and use the bathroom. Go out and use the bathroom. He's really picky right now. Let's see. Hey Ryan, how's the savings for that big property you're looking to get in the future? They're doing fine. A lot of it is actually tied up in crypto right now. I've been doing pretty well with it, and not like just savings crypto, like USDD and stuff like that, where they give me 9% yearly interest on other interests like BlockFi and Voyager. They've been doing pretty well. My thing right now is the more I look for real estate in Belize, the more I'm like, your houses all look so colorful, and I don't want a colorful house. So I'm thinking of if I can do this right here on this chart here. While we're kind of just waiting for Bitcoin to do something here, it's not going to do much here actually. How's ApeCoin doing? Is it still pretty volatile at this point in time here? We could put ApeCoin out here while we have Bitcoin. Uh, so what I'm thinking of doing here, so just to hate this magnet thing right now. Imagine this is just like a beach, and here is water. Let's gonna call it Watt. Okay. I'm thinking of buying a plot of land on the beach. It won't have any pipes on it or anything like that. But what I'm hoping to do is to build like just buy the plot of land while I'm living in a house or renting an apartment. I don't know. I don't think I want an apartment, like a large apartment. You get what I'm saying? Down there. And so what I think I'm going to do is while I'm living in that house or apartment, I'm going to have them build out a house that's kind of just like a rectangle. A rectangle that's maybe 2 stories tall, and it's maybe 1,500 square feet. All right. And then maybe 2 or 3 years later, after it's completed and I moved in and kind of made a little bit of a good life for myself, I'm going to actually extend it to make an L. I don't know why it shifted at the last second. There you go. To make an L. Then a few years later on, I'm going to build it like that. Then another few years later on, I'm going to build it like that, and then have like an open concept area in the middle because it's nice and hot, so I can eat out there and do whatever I want over there. And that way, I have a house like that. And then if I wanted to, I could actually have a path going that way, and then I guess the property would kind of extend a little bit more over here. But then I would have like a little guest house over here, right? Little guest house over here, so I can have guests over, and I can have the main house over here. But this main house could host guests if I needed to, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing, and that allows me to get a house up sooner rather than later. This house would probably be, for the most part, self-sustaining, so, um, you know, solar powered. Only thing I would have to really deal with is Wi-Fi. I would collect rainwater and kind of do that whole thing. That'd be kind of fun to do. And if I really needed to, for whatever reason, just get pipes. But I don't know. I don't know how much that stuff costs. Well, at least there, I don't. But that's kind of the thought process going on through my head because I'm thinking as soon as I move over there, I think I'm just gonna buy land. And the land over there, it's cheap enough where I can pay like $20,000 cash. So get a down payment. Like what I was saving for a down payment on a house. And I think that's the way I'm gonna go there. It's gonna take some time because I'm gonna do like work with the contractors and all that other stuff. But I mean, all I'm gonna be doing while I'm in Belize is living my best life, hanging out with my dog Loki, doing YouTube, investing, and and as far as investing guys, I probably spend like 10 to 15 hours a week looking at charts and stuff like that and trading. But that kind of blends in with my YouTube time from looking at charts, right? And then I maybe spend like 10 hours a week on YouTube, so it's like 20 hours, 25 hours a week of actually doing stuff. The rest of it's just kind of me being me and hanging out with Logi. Um, and then the rest of that, I could spend talking with architecture guys and landscaping guys and all that stuff type of stuff. But it's not like that's going to take up a whole bunch of time. But I'm going to be paying them to do all the planning for me. I just want I want this, I want that, I want this. Tell me how we can get this done, and I'll just pay for it, right? So savings going well. I'm hoping that YouTube can actually generate the revenue for a lot of my house. That way I can kind of keep more money in crypto, if that makes sense. I've been using YouTube money primarily, just kind of funneling it back into YouTube, because you guys know that because YouTube is like YouTube had that glitch where they took me off of the monetization. This month, I think the channel's only gonna make like $600, $700, something like that, right? Because of the glitch there. So once the channel gets back up and running and I start fueling more money into it, there's going to be a point where it's not really worth it for me to keep on putting all of that money in there. So I'm probably just going to use it to like spend part of it on a house or something like that. Not really sure though yet, but because all I want to do is move down there. I'm probably going to hire like a staff of 1 or 2 people to help me out run the channel, and then what I'm hoping for is like daily, like better tutorials where I can hire graphic designers to do all the cool stuff like the other channels are able to do, but just with a more practical explanation of how to trade patterns. Because I see so many of those pattern trades over there, but they never teach you the like how to. You can learn how to use a pattern. I do the same thing with the videos, something like pattern videos, candlestick patterns, whatever, candlestick charts, whatever. But the thing is, you have to use that pattern with all of the other knowledge you've learned, and it's really, really hard to put into a video when it's just me and with a time limit, right? So I'm hoping that sometime, next, not this fall or winter, but next fall or winter, I'll have a staff of 1 or 2 people that can actually help me do all that, or pay for the people to do that type of stuff, whether then I can just talk over it and make a script and stuff like that, right? Or even pay somebody to do the script as well. And hey, Bideford, and guys, thank you very much for liking the stream. I really do appreciate it. Every like does help out. ApeCoin's not doing anything here, but we can actually talk about one thing here, guys, very fast. Something that's interesting, it kind of worries me a little bit here. Not too much on Ethereum, actually, but here, that's just Ethereum's little chart right there, in a basic sense. We saw a lot of altcoins. Oh, was that Bitcoin? Oh, that was Bitcoin, my bad. We did see a lot of altcoins really break down over the last few days and not have a decent recovery here. Dogecoin's a special case because it did have that really nice pop there, and that was nice to see, right? Dogecoin usually has big pops before the market drops, doesn't it? It's kind of weird, especially over the last few times here. But you saw Matic break down, not even coming back up towards that breakdown point here. So I'm kind of saying, hey, maybe I'm hoping it can get back up there. ADA, did ADA actually do anything? ADA already broke down technically a while ago. That was that breakdown. Oh yeah, it still broke down. Yeah, so it still broke down. It's trying to get back up here now, but it hit that resistance level. Excuse me. Did this one, that broke down happened a while ago, but that wasn't even a good breakdown. Probably was looking at that one then, yeah. But yeah, so we've still seen a lot of stuff break down, but maybe we're going to hit a cool off period here. I mean, I hope so. Luna's still looking good. Luna is almost making me afraid to want to short this thing because it's been so resilient over the past few weeks here. If I was to short Luna, I would do it for a long-term short just because I believe in Bitcoin falling down, right? All right, back over here, though. Back over here to the 15. Yeah. But yeah, guys, we are trying to climb up here just a little bit, which is a good thing to see. And hey, Alex, how's my Doge Elon investment going? Maybe breaking even. If it's either breaking even or down, I would say. This one's a long term one, but let me see. It hasn't done anything so far today. So I had been accumulating all around here, and then we had this big spike up here, and I just sold everything off because I was like, I don't want to hold it for a while. I like to sell off these spikes so that I can like harvest more coins, if you will. I started buying back more here, more here, more here. So I guess I'm up actually just a little bit. Not a lot though. I mean, what if let's say the average is somewhere around here because I started buying more in bulk around here. Up 3%, maybe up just 2%. So it's doing fine for me, but my main mission right now is just to accumulate more of these coins, but I'm trying to accumulate more Doge Elon without actually having to spend the money on it, if that makes sense. So that means buying low, selling high, using all that capital to buy more when it hits the lows, right? So, like for this example, let's say I made about, I sold it at that actually line. I made about 48% profit on the trades from holding over the past few months, okay? So what happened was, let's say I made, I think I made like $2,000 something like that because of the pop. What I decided to do here is when it came back down to these levels, actually for me it was about 15%, even though it did come all the way back down to like 18, 19%. Then I started buying back on, so now I was able to buy 15% more coins. Not exactly because I didn't put all that money back in at the same time. I managed to buy some here, some here, some here. I still have I've bought in the same amount of coins I've sold, but I have yet to buy for like a lower price. But I have yet to spend the money on getting more coins, if that makes sense. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'll buy a little more today, but overall, it's just kind of unch. Not really much has changed since bought back into it. My thing about Doge Elon here is, first of all, Elon's getting in the news a lot more, and I think so. This kind of goes into a more pessimistic kind of view of society at the moment. So I think, Doge Elon, Dogecoin and Elon. I think Elon is the bigger part of Doge Elon. Okay, so my thing about this particular coin is, I'm thinking, okay, this is kind of how my mind works from a practical view. Elon Musk has just bought Twitter, and I don't know what you want to call them. The left, liberals, Democrats. I want to say the left because I think there's more moderate Democrats out there, right? But they've kind of declared war on him. And what does that kind of mean? That means I saw today that MSNBC said that Elon Musk is racist and he's like apartheid person or something like that. He wants to bring back apartheid. Yeah. And then, you may see the political side, like representatives of the Congress, United States, they're going to start attacking him as well. And I think that's just going to fuel his popularity and fuel his presence, on media, online. And I think as let's just call them the left. I don't know what you want to call them. Like, not like Democrats in general, but just those people that kind of get mad about everything. Um, as they keep on bringing him up and giving him more notoriety, more fame, even if it's just like them yelling at him and asking him weird questions. I think that's going to help out this price over time. Over time, this is still correlating for the most part with Bitcoin, so I like that, but I think this can have a big boom, particularly because it does fit into some of my characteristics I like to play for long term plays. Um, Low market cap, low price. So the market cap for Doge Elon right now is Doge Elon Mars. Let's see, $573 million. Not that bad. And then of course the price is right there. I don't even know what that price is, but 104. I think over time this will have some type of big move, and that's when I'm looking to sell it. So, you know, I don't know if it's going to have something really parabolic this year, unless like Bitcoin goes on a tear. But if Bitcoin starts reaching all-time highs and we start reaching some critical resistance levels, I'm going to start selling this bad boy off, and I'm hoping, if I buy it right here, and let's say the market cap gets up to, what, like 10, 30, let's say 10, $20 billion, you know, maybe the price will get up here for like 1,000, 2,000% gain, right? That's kind of what I'm hoping for on the next run. So if we would actually take this right here, this first rally was up here at 5,000%. Oh, it's not going to work for me, but yeah, basically a few thousand% profit is what I'm hoping for the next big rally here. But I'm just going to keep on accumulating some of this over time here, and I'm happy with how it's held up so far here. Even though, like, October, big rally here, came back down quite a bit. This seems to be a good time to be accumulating it. Even if it falls down another chunk back down here, I would still be accumulating it there for a longer term play. But overall, it hasn't done anything. Go. Is Bitcoin even doing anything? I'll put let me go right here. Yeah, all I'm really concerned about for Bitcoin right now, guys, is that we hold this. We break out of this level right here, because we're either going to pop up and we're probably going to tap on $40,000 just to get rejected. But if we tap on the $40,000, we have an opportunity to break out, and so that's the opportunity we're really hoping for, because we hit resistance right here. We hit the Fibonacci resistance levels. We also have the Ganfeng level up here, and look at that. That Ganfeng level stopped us cold last time here. So, you know, I still think we have a little bit left in the tank for today. Ultimately, we'll see what happens. During the next few daily candles as well. But this is a 4 hour candle here actually, so we'll probably see what happens here the next day or so, right? Or next few hours, excuse me. And hey, Jim, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking for more ways to grow the channel. Actually, today I'm building. I was building out a structure as far as what type of videos I can give you guys because um, I'm still. And I know I've been doing YouTube for a year, but I still haven't like. I've still been doing my life stuff with YouTube, right? Like, so YouTube's been kind of the side. I still trade, I still do all my other stuff, and YouTube's kind of a secondary thing for me. But I enjoy hanging out with you guys a lot, and so I'm like, I've kept on doing this. At first, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to keep on doing YouTube, right? Mostly because I wasn't like, I'm not used to the toxicity on YouTube. So like now that everything's kind of quieted down after Dogecoin, it's fine. Like to me when I sold off my Dogecoin or half of my Dogecoin back when it hit 50 cents last year, and I got so much hate and flack for it, I was like, are you guys kidding me? I bought this sucker at 0.0024 and I sold it at 50 cents. That's a freaking awesome thing. Why are you guys getting mad at me for that? And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And then I was like, okay, well, there's tons of chill people in here. I just got to wait for all the riffraff people that are only here for like a short amount of time. I got to wait for them to leave, and then I'll be kind of more comfortable and more kind of just like able to give you guys my opinions without everybody freaking out. Because when we're in a a bull market and everything's going crazy in altcoin season, and you say anything that's bearish, people like freak out at you. And I'm allergic to stupidity, and I don't like it at all. So I what do you call it? It was definitely something interesting there. But I let me see if I can find it here. Drive. Um, I've been working on a video that I'm placing inside of this thing. It's actually going to be pretty fun. But this is the tutorial I'm working on for now. Here you go. I need to figure out how to welcome to Michael's ultimate guide to trading stocks, options, and crypto. Before we begin, that type of stuff. Going over. I mean, this is what you guys will be learning pretty much. What are stocks, options, crypto, candlestick patterns, chart patterns, Fibonacci, pitchforks, Gantt, fan, Gantt box, trend. So it's going to have a whole bunch of stuff. And then, of course, later on I'll have individual videos kind of going more in depth about these topics. But you guys are going to understand enough to trade and understand enough to kind of go over to InvestP and learn the rest of it if you wanted to here. Algorithms, dividends, staking, exchange offers, leverage trading, IPOs, the success rate. You guys want to be the successful bunch here, right? What are stocks? Long trading. Like here's an example of us trading long. This is just Apple from a while ago, but I think I was just using a Fibonacci extension tool for this one. You buy the breakout, you sell at number one, the white line right there, which also lined up actually with the level of resistance, which is really awesome. You can see on this actually particular picture, or I guess I'm using my finger, not my mouse, but you can see on this particular picture that it's gray. You guys will have it gray. I set up a new what do you recall these things? A new one of these chart layouts, so mine reverted back down to gray or back over to gray. But you saw we hit right there, and that's where we kind of stopped right on the dot right there before we even hit that level of resistance. And then we went choppy, and then you can see up here, actually, if we held on a little bit longer, if you guys held on a little bit longer, which would have been kind of iffy because we were trading options at that time, right? We tapped it right on that sucker. Look at that, right on that sucker. These Fibonacci extension levels though are much more useful in the stock market than the crypto market, just because of how crypto can be very volatile and how it can be so much more manipulated. But they still work pretty well in crypto as well, as we've kind of seen over the last few days here. But yeah, so we'll go over all this type of stuff down the road, and it'll be nice. But right now, I'm just kind of slowly, slowly building out all of this stuff. Um, yeah, right now I'm on platforms, tools, best platforms. Whether you want to use an app or an exchange, the benefits, trading tools. Like this right here, trading a downtrend there. Investopedia versus Ameritrade. Setting up TradingView, and then this is the part where I stopped because then I got to do some extra stuff. And then this is just like I don't have anything to do with this stuff. This is just part of the template that I downloaded for it. But yeah, so I'm excited about that stuff. But as far as what I'm trying to do right now, I made this today. It's going to change a lot here. But like, so I just made another channel today. I'll let you guys know what it is when I decide what it's going to really, what the back image is going to be for it, or some of the artwork for it. But there's this channel. You guys know I have the second channel. I haven't posted in there forever. I deleted all the old videos. I'm going to revamp it here. That one's going to be more focused on breakouts. So I'm going to show you guys some breakout plays on Monday, stock news on Tuesdays, investing advice on Wednesdays. Like that means like, how much money should you save per a paycheck for crypto, for stocks, for investing, that type of stuff, with some data behind it. tool tutorials like FinViz if you guys want to know anything about that, or a specific tool on TradingView that maybe you guys don't know about, like a pitchfork or something like that. I'll go over that. Saturday is news. Sunday I'm not doing anything. Sunday's my day off. Saturday's usually my day off as well, but I don't mind doing a short video for news on those ones. And then the shorts channel is the third one I just talked about. That one's only going to have shorts. And so if I see any type of breakout while I'm just kind of doing my day-to-day stuff, I'm just going to make a quick 10 to 15 second video that probably will take me about a minute to make really, really fast. And I'm just going to put it out there. And if you guys want to look at it for like, hey, it's more of like, hey guys, check this out. Bitcoin chart or Apple chart, Tesla chart, whatever, kind of like my thoughts on something or a breakout that's happening. I'll just like literally spend a minute out of my day to kind of put that video up there, and you might have anywhere from 1 to 10 videos per day, maybe even up to 30 if I go really willy-nilly one day, okay? I don't think I'm going to have 30 videos in a day, though. So, and then, of course, for the main channel, Monday I'm hoping to do, so this is not the streaming aspect, if there's going to be streaming every day, Monday through Friday, but, so like on Monday, I want to go over Gann friend levels of the week and see which ones are approaching, which ones are resistance, and so forth like that, support and resistance for Gann friend levels. Tuesday, Fibonacci extensions and retracements. Pretty simple stuff, right? Wednesday, moving averages. How are the moving averages looking? Specifically, I have this chart layout, the one that says tutorials for channel, I think is the one I put up for you guys. And we have the different moving averages here, right? The SMA, the EMA, the DEMA, and the TEMA. That's what we're hoping for, right? Right now, everything is pretty bearish as far as the moving averages are concerned. Well, actually, even the TEMA is pretty bearish at this moment in time, I guess, because we took that big dip here. And we're about to have a death cross there on the 50 and the 200. Jesus, yeah, damn. But yeah, so we'll look at all these moving averages here and what that may say going forward. Let me see what the TEMA says in the 4-hour chart, though. No, it didn't really seem anything bigger there. Here, the DEMA. No, that didn't do much there either. Yeah, but what do you call it? So that's what we'll be talking about. Thursday, just basic trend lines, looking for some basic patterns. This can be on Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any of these other larger, more talked about coins. It could even be about ApeCoin if ApeCoin is still kind of booming around by next Thursday. Friday, recap of like what happened on the weekend, next week's plan as far as our price targets and stuff like that. And we'll kind of move all this stuff into one kind of recap if that makes sense. Saturday news. This may or may not happen every Saturday, but it's usually just going to be something like, hey, Central African Republic just adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, second official country to do so. Big news. Something simple like that may only take like 3 to 4 minutes for you guys to watch. But that's kind of where I'm thinking of how to structure this channel going forward and the other channels I have. And that keeps me structured. Having ADHD, guys, has helped me invest. It is not good for me actually being disciplined with my YouTube posting schedules and stuff like that. Not at all is ADHD good for actually posting on YouTube. But for trading, it makes me paranoid about every single thing I'm looking at. So I'm looking for every single pattern I can find, which has been very, very good, right? But that's kind of the gist of what I'm going for here. That tutorial that I showed you in the beginning, though, that's gonna this is gonna take some time, guys, because again, we're going to go over stocks, options, crypto, candlestick patterns, chart patterns, Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci extensions, Fibonacci channels, pitchforks, Gann box, Gann fan, trend regressions, Elliott waves, indicator strategies, trading platforms, charting platforms, scanner settings, order flow, option order flow, algorithms, bots, copy trading, IPOs, leverage trading, exchange offers, dividends, and staking. All right, and that's a lot, right? So all that type of stuff. And so far, I've only gotten through what are stocks, options, and crypto. Trading platforms, not how to use them yet, just trading platforms. And trading apps. Oh, trading tools. I'm getting into trading tools right now. But so basically I've done that. But I'm already on page 36 of the slides. And I haven't even covered 5% of everything in this tutorial. So it's going to be long, my basic point for you guys. So it's going to be like hundreds of slides here. I'll have it. What I'm going to try to do for you guys is I'm going to make it into a really long one just so it's there for us, okay? A really, really long one. It'll take a while to make, but once it's done, it's done. So you guys can take that time, however long you need to take to watch it, because it's not going to be the same for everybody. That's what you're going to do, right? But after a while, after I'm done making it, then I'm actually going to go into all these files, kind of change some stuff up, snip some stuff up, and try to find a way to break it down into easier clumps to watch in case you guys aren't as disciplined just to kind of say stop at chapter 1 section 2 stop here, right? I'll try to spread it out a little bit more for you, but I don't think I'll have to do that for a while afterwards, because then after that, you guys are going to have questions about particular things, like, hey, I didn't completely understand how to use Fibonacci extension levels, blah blah blah. If Yeah, and so what I'll probably do there is I'll make another video kind of going in even deeper into that topic, just so people, like, sometimes stuff clicks for one person but doesn't click to another person, right? And so when that happens, I'll do my best to make a video that goes even more in depth, and put some tools down below, like Investopedia links and stuff like that, or any type of videos that I may see on other people's YouTube channels, and that'll help you get a complete understanding of the thing in case somebody doesn't understand it, right? Because sometimes when people like watch my tutorials and stuff like that, sometimes I can be like that professor who thinks rocket science and it's your first day in calculus, right? So sometimes I make that mistake. I haven't made it with this one, but just in case I do, I'm trying to plan out ahead for it down the road. But that tutorial is going to take some time, guys. But it's been kind of fun to make so far, and it's been interesting to kind of go over what I know as a trader and investor, and kind of going over some stuff that I haven't had to use in a while. I don't use Elliott waves ever, but I'm going to teach you guys how to use them nonetheless, right? So it's stuff like that. Hey, these haters gonna hate. I don't know, dude. I don't do anything with social media. Like, I don't do anything with social media. I use Snapchat every now and again because people still snap me, and I'm like, okay, I don't use Snapchat really, but cool. I'll snap a face, right? Facebook, I don't use Facebook too much, but maybe I'll start putting videos on Facebook and make a Facebook group just to get more views over there, to get traffic over to YouTube. Um, I'm using Twitter now a little bit more and more now that Elon's bought it. Um, but yeah, for the most part, I don't use social media too much. I have an Instagram. I haven't posted probably in a couple weeks here. I need to start using Instagram because I think that's the number one way my friends try to contact me. It took me a while to realize you could even send messages on Instagram. So when I went to my friend's wedding, I got a like when I was talking with friends and meeting new people. You know, I was talking with a couple. I don't even remember their names, but I was introduced to a whole bunch of nice women, but they didn't ask for my number or Snapchat or Facebook or anything. They asked for my Instagram, and that threw me for a loop because I'm like, I don't use Instagram really. And so I gave them my Instagram, and when I talk to them now, just nothing romantic, just kind of hey friend stuff. It's I'm not used to using Instagram as an app of communication, which I'm gonna have to get used to it apparently, because that seems to be all my friends are actually at is Instagram. There we go. Hey chef, I feel the urge to play Minecraft for 2 weeks straight now and never touch it for months. Oh geez, I do that every now and again with some of the video games I play. And hey Tony, happy to see you back, man. Hey Bodford, have I ever tried VIX options? I think eviction eventually come down. At least I believe so. Would you recommend puts 1 to 2 months out, if at all? Normally not, just because the market can still get pretty choppy here in the future. My thing about the VIX is I actually just like to buy it, not trade option, but just buy it when it's getting really low and you start to see something really crazy going on. Um, Me personally, I haven't had as much success as I wanted to while trading the VIX. Mostly because when I'm trading the VIX, it's not as long term as what you're talking about, like the 1 to 2 months out. You can try, but I'd probably just put a little bit of money behind it. So when we're looking at the VIX here, teacup over here. Mm, I know which one you're talking about here. Yeah, okay. I don't know why it's not showing up there, but that's fine. Yeah, okay, yeah. That was crazy for a second. I was like, why isn't it showing up? All right. So here's the weekly VIX, right? If you want to do it normally, the way I would trade it is by doing it a few weeks out. But sometimes what happens is we're not actually in a really bad spot, are we? Hmm. We're at a kind of constant level of resistance right now. I've just had more luck longing it than shorting it. That's my thing. Um, but let me see. We're kind of at this middle point here. I don't know if anything really bad is going to happen in the future here, but I just know the market's been kind of choppy lately. So if you wanted to buy some puts here, I might say a month out, $25 puts. Maybe $20 if you want to get a little bit more aggressive here. But things are going to really need to quiet down, and then you're going to have to do some research on actually the Nasdaq here, because all we really did today, as far as we just kind of tried to hold support on the major indexes. So if if we start to really increase here and have these larger sell-offs, that's where those puts are going to go kaput, right? So that's my main concern here. And even if we have a massive bounce back up here, that same volatility will cause it to still go up here. And you can just see the volatility that we've been dealing with over the past few months now. It just hasn't been too good to look at. So that's my concern as far as buying puts on it, right? Um, Dow Jones still coming down here today. Not as bad. Well, excuse me, this week, but it's still looking a little bit rough, so it could definitely increase here in the future. SPY, still having a rough week here, just having a little bit of a bounce. I think it might be better if I actually just showed you guys the daily charts instead of the weeklies. There you go. This is what I meant when we were just holding support. We didn't do anything. Didn't do anything today. Dow Jones, not at the main support level here, but getting close. Right down there. Oh yeah, we are holding a support level, just not the support level. There we go. According to this, we actually broke down below it yesterday, but that's fine. So we're at a support level. If we start breaking down below that, that gets really nasty really fast. That raises it up, and we got the SPY right here over at support levels as well. So, uh, you know, maybe once earnings is kind of over, maybe once this week is over, maybe that might help out the market a little bit. So maybe if you wanted to buy puts, maybe more towards Friday afternoon, that might be the best for VIX. Maybe, but you might be able to stagger into those puts or scale into those puts. That might help you a little bit more. But just be careful. One of my concerns that I'm seeing right now, not from a stock market perspective, but if you guys go over to Google and you type in natural gas, um, here's PBS. Ru- okay, sorry. Russia severs natural gas supplies for two NATO nations, escalating standoff with the West. If Russia feels confident enough to start saying, "Hey, you Western countries, we're not going to give you any more oil," that's going to be really bad for them, which will lead to market downturns and more uncertainty. Let's just call that more uncertainty, which may lead the VIX to go up even higher if we do start to see more volatility happening in the traditional markets. So um, that's kind of my fear, I guess you would say, of my fear of buying puts in the VIX. I just normally don't do it, but that doesn't mean you can't make money. You can definitely make money. Just it goes more into theta and stuff like that. So just be careful that the no large amounts. I guess I would say no large amounts. Yep. All right. Hey, Bryce, that is a lot of cookies. Hey, David, when everyone's bearish, that's what you buy. I know everybody's been bearish for a while now. I mean, I'm still accumulating, but I want us to go into the 20,000s range so I could buy even more. Not because it'll be bad for all the prices and stuff like that, but I just want to buy more. And if the price is lower, I can afford more, right? But man, it's definitely anybody's guess right now. I mean, I think we're bearish, of course, but there's tons of opinions out there right now, and I really wonder who's going to be right after all said and done here. There you go. Hey, Chef, Cat for earnings play. I don't know how Cat's going to do with earnings. Actually, I have no idea. Let me see. 28th. Last earnings, nothing really. Oh, last earnings was bad. Last earnings was okay for that. Bad. Bad. Ah, fine. Last time I checked this out, we broke out. Hmm. We already have that for today. I don't know how this is going to go for earnings. It had a small breakup, but the market kind of crashed it back down, unfortunately, because it did have a nice breakout. Look at that. Broke out. You had a few good days of actually having some really good, strong returns for the options market, but it got slammed back down like everything else here. I have no idea how this is going to do for the earnings. My mind's not contemplating how, or it's having trouble thinking about how the business would be doing under current market conditions. I would say they're going to see a decrease in guidance, so I would say most likely the puts are going to work out for you. But I don't know if they have any other sectors of growth that I'm not thinking about. That's my concern. So I think you will see orders of their trucks and equipment start to fall down a little bit. I think that's true. I think that may lead to a drop, and if it did drop back down, I think it would happen to go back down to like $200 or so. So I'd be looking for $200 puts for the strike price, and they would be looking to expire this Friday. That way you can kind of maximize that profit. They're cheaper puts, and you're only going to be trading it for that one day, which is the earnings day. Hopefully, earnings I think is after hours. Then, if you're looking to buy it tomorrow, right? Before market opens. Oh, well, that's going to change some stuff. You would have already had to buy the puts today in order to get them. But if it has bad earnings, I would expect it to be coming back down here from anywhere to $200 to $190. And I would have tried to do a put play on that. If tomorrow the earnings are bad, I would actually try to, instead of going with the options play, I would actually try to go with the swing trade play with holding it overnight. I would actually move it over to doing a day trade on this because usually Caterpillar is pretty fun with day trading. So normally you got to zoom out a little bit here, but when you find something good, it's usually pretty good on Caterpillar. Is there anything actually here that you could have day traded though over the last few days? Only the real breakout. I would have bought anything around here just because the resistance was right there, but it almost had a double bottom, but it got faked out here. Hmm. Yeah, even the fibs don't even look really nice with this one. This thing's just got slammed hard because the market conditions haven't been too good. What if I adjust this over here to where the rally started? Even then, it doesn't even look too hot. Yeah. Let's go over to the weekly charts. Maybe the trend base may give us some tracks here. Yeah, we ran into the one. We got a little bit of above it, but we ran into the one, and that's what you probably should have sold if you bought down here anywhere. Um, Yeah, I'm not sure, but if you're going to be trading it tomorrow, just be careful. I don't have no idea what the earnings are going to be like, but I would assume they're going to have a pretty poor earnings report. Not catastrophic, just poor. Oh wait, haha, I forgot this, but I actually have here. So I got Loki's treats here as well. Yeah, I know you come. This whole thing keeps my water boiling hot for a while, so whenever I need an extra pot of tea or an extra cup of tea, boom, works really nice. There we go. And I got Loki's treat bag today, so full of lamb treats, and at the bottom there's some mint rhubarb things in here. So whenever he smells it, hears any type of crinkling in the house, he comes over and he does like, I don't know if you guys can see this here. He'll come over to my finger. Come on. Big baby. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm thinking in the future, I'm going to on one of my streams. I think I'm going to try to have a stream running from my house in the future, like every Sunday or something like that. And then like every five, this is going to be like a year plus down the road. But like every, he's he came right up here. He's so self conscious of being on the camera. But I think in the future, I'm gonna have him like a little like every $5-10 donated to like some type of live stream or something like that. For like it'll be something important or whatever. Loki gets a little treat or something like that, and I think he would enjoy that quite a bit. Yeah, you would. Yeah, 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 yeah. He's a big baby. He was taking a nap on my bed a few minutes ago. I heard him come down the jump off the bed. Okay, but here we go. And do I think a W reversal is happening on Bitcoin on the weekly? Looks like it could happen. Yes, it could happen. Yes, I know what you're talking about here. Now, the moving averages are the only reason I haven't been talking about that more here. But as far as the move you're thinking about, we might have something like like a body of the weekly candle here, like a low versus low with a wick up here, kind of popping up. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I do see it there. We got to really extend it out here a little bit. I'm hoping right now I'm talking about it more as the U to kind of like a half of the W, if you will. But that's kind of the bullish argument that we kind of bounce off of here, right? Um, Something that I'm actually concerned about, and it's not for the reason you think. I'm concerned that we have a green candle finishing off this weekly chart because then that gives the shorts the ability to have another few red candles following it without having that bad trend of bad week after bad week after bad week. Right? Normally something kind of cools us off a little bit, even if it's just for like a week or so. And if we finish off with a green candle here, that's a green light for a red candle next week. Unfortunately, that's kind of something I'm working at, and I'm like, there's no technical thing behind that. I mean, there's probably some type of weird thing there, but nothing that I can clearly explain to you guys and articulate. But I really want us to finish off with a red candle here. That way, the odds of us having like what is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The odds of us having five red weekly candles in a row is already really high. Like it's really low to have that. But if we but six, that's even more unheard of, right? So when's the last time we had six bad red weeks in Bitcoin? Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I don't even think it's ever happened. So, you know, if we finish off green, that could be the biggest small bull trap right here before having a big plummet. Because normally when we kind of have these flips here, we kind of run into the 20 or the 50-day moving average or the 50 moving averages as a level of resistance for us, and then all of a sudden we have a hard fall, and then we have to wait a little bit more time before that move that catches up, if you will. I think a good example of that always happens on the 15-minute charts when we're breaking down, right? This was an example because we just got shorted artificially there, but when the market likes to take these kind of moves down, no, this wasn't even it either. It's more gradual than these ones. These are just big short attacks that we're seeing, so kind of large money influencing the price of Bitcoin without the kind of average day-to-day person. But it looks more like this, even though we popped up above it. We're kind of running into the resistance, and then all of a sudden we start getting it slammed down. But of course, this was more shorts here. But that type of move is what we normally see. Did we see it on the daily chart at all? No, no. I mean, kind of like this, but kind of there's more taps on the 20 here. Uh, yeah, that's not going to be a good example there, but still. Um, But yeah, that's a little tidbit of thing that I'm thinking about. Like, I don't want us to have a green week. I want us to actually finish off just slightly red, and that way we can actually have a good following week here. But again, part of it is how is the stock market doing right now? The stock market needs to take a little bit of a break at the moment, so from falling. So maybe we need to take a little bit of a break from falling as well. Hey, David. Dollar index could start going sideways down instead of parabolic soon. Yes, I know all the YouTubers have been talking about that. That is the trendy thing to talk about the dollar index and how it's just been kind of going parabolic lately. Um, I don't know if it's going to go sideways. A strong dollar is going to be coming because we're hiking rates up, right? Um, I just don't know if we're gonna stop. That's really my concern here. And remember, uh, oh, somebody's buying up a little bit right here. When? Let's see. Let's see. Give me a second here. I'm looking for something while there's a mini whale buying up right here. Um, I'm just looking for the Fed meeting calendar, but for some reason it's just not being easy for me to find here. Fed meeting calendar. Okay. So right here we have May 3rd to 4th. Um, we should have another meeting here. If they raise rate hikes 50%, we may see just an absolutely horrible start off to May. But if you look at the dollar index, you can see, you've probably seen all over YouTube. I know people have been talking about it like freaking nonstop. If I just go over here and type in Bitcoin, I'm sure somebody's uh, chart will talk about it. So let's just kind of scroll down here. Right there. Yeah, right there. So the VIX, you can see on this chart, it's kind of tap, then goes down, then tap, then goes down, then the circle thing right there. That's what everybody's banking on. Is there any more right here? No, these are going over the past few days too. But that's the big thing everybody's talking about. Oh, yeah, right here. I was looking at his channel a few minutes ago as well. Jordan, because I know some of you guys like him. What do you call it? Will it reject, right? Um, I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting. But if we're just raising rate hikes like 50 basis points for like the next couple cycles or couple months, right? Ooh, I don't know, right? I just don't know. And will the world's currencies be as strong, right? I don't know. Let me actually look that up very fast. So here's something from routers. Dollar hits 5-year high. That's the peak we're talking about. Growth concerns dent the euro. The rest of the world doesn't have the American economy. So that's where kind of all this struggling is coming in right now, for other economies, not us here. But the dollar hit a 5-year high on Wednesday before the Federal Reserve next week is expected to hike rates, while the euro weakened on growth concerns after Russia cut off gas supplies to two Eastern European countries. Slow growth, less energy, less production. Keeps on going, right? The greenback has also benefited from global growth concerns as Europe struggles with the fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine and China imposes lockdowns in a bid to stem the spread of COVID-19. Russia halted gas supplies to Bulgaria and Poland on Wednesday for rejecting its demand for payment in rubles, taking direct aim at European economies, in a move that is also expected to expose confusion in the European Union on how to respond to Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. And so forth. So the euro fell to 1.05, the weakest since March 2017. And we don't talk about the forex markets here hardly at all. Let's go to the euro USD. Oh, I put on this chart accidentally. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That one's fine. Now let's move it over here for the other one. All right. Watch list. Euro USD. Let's go to the daily chart. Now, this is the euro against the US dollar. So that means if this is going down, the US dollar against the euro is shooting up. All right, just so you guys understand this here. Mostly because they have everything against the USD here for some reason. But that I trade forex every now and again. I don't do it much, but I trade it every now and again. I actually shorted it from here. I think I actually sold it off right here. I sold too early, as you guys can see. But still, I made money, right? But this, it's been a hot minute. Last time I took a short on this one was the double top up here on the forex markets. But we're kind of in a dive bomb moment right now. We're kind of running into support, if you will, a general feeling of support. And if we go over here to the weekly charts, you know, we could come down here, and that's kind of my concern. And if we did make it back down here, it's like, 95 cents, 95 cents. A dollar equals 95. 0.95 euros equals $1. Excuse me. Um, that's maybe where we might see a Bitcoin drop or something happen like that. But we're just waiting right now, and that rate hike isn't going to do anything to help us. And what happens if Russia says, "Hey, this was working pretty well in Poland and Bulgaria. What if we kind of do the same thing to a not Germany because they gave us a lot of money, but some of those other Eastern European countries that may not have as strong economies? Let's cut off their energy supply. What are they going to do about it? We're Russia. We have an army. It may suck, but we have one, right? Right. So I understand the thought. I agree that we are at a major level of resistance, but I mean, I'm not convinced on either side which way we will go. Technicals say we should reverse, right? We're at a major level of resistance. But at the same time, world events make me believe that we may just bust through it and keep on freaking surging for a while. And that's what's so scary about it. It's like if you go over to any of the YouTubers' videos, they're like, hey, this is something to watch, and it is. But I just don't know if it's something to watch for the good thing, right? So I don't know, guys. I mean, what do you guys think? That's kind of my thought process behind it. There's so much extra stuff you have to do when you're talking about the strength of the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is well, like here's the dollar to well, let's just actually go to the U.S. dollar index. This is the chart that everybody is talking about. As well, not everybody, but bullish YouTubers or well, not even just bullish, just people that kind of want you guys to understand something, right? We're there, and this is the weekly chart. I mean, we are freaking surging. We are freaking surging. So maybe we test it, fall back down, then break out later on, right? Because remember, well, no, next week is the big week, isn't it? Huh. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens anyway, though. But here's the daily chart. Yeah, we're creeping, guys. We're creeping up here. We're not even like slowing down. Look at that. Just had a cup. I don't even know if that was a handle, but now we're trying to break out and go even higher here. So, um, double top that failed. A lot of crazy stuff in here at the moment, guys. So careful with this one. We do see this is going to happen, but well, I think we're going to test that. We're already testing that technically, but I'm very concerned that world events may lead the U.S. dollar even higher. Let me actually pour this in here. My throat is getting really raspy for some reason. Mm, mhm. But let me go over here very fast. Because really, what's surging us right now is the U.S. versus the euro and the U.S. versus the yen, the Chinese yen. So can I find the yen over here? I don't actually look at the yen ever. Not the yen, sorry. Yuan. Um, why? Oh, maybe it doesn't have it. All right, that's fine. We can actually just go to the USD E to the euro. There we go. Same thing as we watched a little bit ago, but just from a reversal here. We could definitely go higher, in my opinion, just because of all the world events here. And Russia is getting more and more desperate. Russia's getting very, very desperate. I mean, have you guys heard about the war in Russia like that much over the past few days? I mean, I don't watch the news, so I normally don't see it too much. But normally, if something really big happens, I kind of hear through it from like my short time on Twitter, my short time on YouTube watching videos. I see something going on, and I haven't seen anything drastic happening as far as the war, as far as Russia winning or Ukraine losing. I have actually. Let me see. Let me just type in Ukraine on the news. There's nothing of like interest me here at all, so I don't know. Okay, well, screw the New York Times then. But yeah, I don't see anything actually crazy going on here as far as Russia going forth. All the news seems to be this economic war that Russia's retaliating against all the sanctions and things like that we put on them, and I think it may continue to escalate going further. So as we see this, I mean, think about this, guys. This is the U.S. dollar versus the euro. Let's go back to the weekly chart here. Isn't this just one gigantic double bottom? Bottom, bottom. We're breaking above the neckline here. Doesn't that mean we can't just completely soar all the way back up? Right? From a technical perspective, don't you see the double bottom here? Double bottom, 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 neckline. Let me see if I can move a picture over here. So that's a double top, but let me see if I can actually find the double bottom here. Browse. There we go. I mean, doesn't that look pretty similar? A bottom, a bottom. Oh, wait, the next must. Bottom, bottom, right there is right there. Oh, the picture's over the mouse, but you get what I'm saying. And we're breaking above that. Doesn't that seem like we can't just go higher? Even if you take a look at the monthly chart, bottom, bottom. We're about to close this month above it to confirm the breakout along the monthly. Maybe we might come up here to a 101. And again, we're from 95 cents to 101, but it doesn't seem like a lot of money, but it really is in the Forex market. It's massive shifts of currency here, massive shifts, which we normally don't see too often. Like back in 2008, one US dollar, I mean, excuse me, how do I say this? Yeah, let's just leave it at that. But yeah, so I don't want to get into the technicals here, but doesn't that look like a massive double bottom play right there? Now, it's not going to be exactly going against the technicals because world events do change the way we observe these charts, but you can see my perspective that maybe we're not going to really just hit resistance and stop. Maybe we're just going to blow through it. Okay, sorry for the rant, but that's, I've been hearing a lot about that, and I've wanted to talk about it, but I normally don't talk about it because I don't. Forex markets are really boring. Like you don't even make money the same way. You make money based off of freaking pips. Like, why can't they just be normal like everybody else? Let's go back over here now. Watch the minute chart. But I think you guys get my point of what I was trying to say there. Sorry for the long rant, but I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers talk about this. Colin talked about it on his channel. Rob talked about it on Digital Asset News. Crypto OS talked about it as well. They're not telling you if we're going to hit it or we're going to break down or not. They're not giving you any opinions on what we're going to do. They're just kind of telling you, hey, observe this, blah 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 blah, right? So because it's going to be hard to determine which way we go, right? I'm thinking we blow right through it because of world events. However, I may be completely wrong, but I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm going to be crucified for getting something wrong like this. But, that kind of goes into my bearish outlook of Bitcoin for May that, hey, on the monthly chart and on the weekly charts, we're about to confirm a double bottom breakout. And at the same time, we're also heading for a massive level of resistance. Which one's going to happen? Which one's going to break, right? That's the question. But nobody knows. I'm thinking with the Federal Reserve rate hikes, Russia being more dubious, and so forth, that's going to lead to the U.S. dollar gaining value against all of its other currencies, across the world. And, we'll see. This will be a crazy week. For the next few streams, remind me, guys, David, whoever, and I will. I'll talk about it a little bit more with you guys as far as it's like what we're looking at, kind of quick updates and stuff like that. Chef, I just put $5 into it. And no worries, Bideford. Happy to help you out. Do you see that Bitcoin on the 4-hour RSI has multiple bullish drives of bullish divergence? Yes. We still have an opportunity to boost back up towards like $40,000, $41,000, right? We still have some time to go until we hit that 50 moving average here. I think that'll be a level of resistance, and then breaking up. We have an opportunity from there on this white line here to break out and try to move up a little bit higher. Again, even though I think bears want us to finish off green here for this week. That way we can have another red candle going forward without having red candle on the weekly charts, red candle, red candle, red candle. We normally don't have it like that, right? So that's me being a little bit paranoid about the market. That has nothing to do with technical analysis. It's just me thinking about, hey, How often do we have 5 or 6 red weekly candles in a row? Never 6, rarely 5, not often 4, right? And so if we can just have one green candle, just even if it's a little sliver of green, that gives us the opportunity to follow through with more red candles going forward, right? Um, yeah. So that's kind of my opinion on that, but it's nothing to do with the technical. It's more me just me being like ooh ooh ooh, type of stuff. Um, let's see, but you guys see my kind of my thought processes going through that type of stuff every now and again, um, like with the moving averages, with the death crosses on the weekly chart. That usually tells me that we're heading for a really large move down, right? Um, but that's just kind of my thought process there. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen, right? I just show you guys this pattern. Like, hey, every time we have a death cross with a 20-week moving average crossing below 50, we have a big crash following it. It may take a few weeks, it may take a few days, but it comes. Every time we break down below the 20 monthly moving average, we usually have a really bad time. It may take 1 month, it may take a few weeks, or it may take a few months after that, but we always have a bad time afterwards. Those technically aren't like technical signals, if you will, a little bit, but they're not something that just like automatically means, hey, this is happening, if that makes sense. It's kind of like, okay, well, that's your thought process. It kind of adds more substance, if you will, to the my hypothesis that Bitcoin is going to be going down closer to $30,000, if not down to $25,000 over the next few months, right? So that's what my mind is thinking about. Now, whether it actually happens, we'll see. We're at a support level, and now we're bouncing off of that support level with an opportunity to have a small breakout. Maybe that's what we need to kind of juice back up with earnings coming out. Maybe the market can have a rebound since we're at major support levels. Maybe all of that changes, right? It's just. I'm just more on the bearish side of the argument rather than the bullish side of the argument for now. But just because I'm bearish doesn't mean I'm not buying for long term profits, right? See. And hey, Tony, I don't know if I can keep up with his personality. That guy has jokes. He talks a lot. I'm just like, cool, yeah, yeah. No. I could probably go on some type of random rant or something like that, and then he'd be like, "What the what the hell?" But yeah, I think it'd probably be fun to do that one time, though. I think it'd be really interesting to do that. Let's see. Hey, extreme stuff. They're gonna go parabolic upwards. I mean, if the VIX, I mean not the VIX, if the dollar index, if the dollar, value of the dollar goes up, I mean that'd be horrible for crypto, right? Horrible for a lot of other stuff actually. But it would be very interesting to see the correlation happening between those two moves here. But to me, you know, and this is just me right here. Most YouTubers say we're going to get stopped from it, right? Most Twitter guys say we're going to get stopped at it, right? Right. So to me, I'm just thinking more about the economy, and maybe I'm putting too much of the world's economy into my head during these kind of weird calculations I'm doing in my mind, right? So I'm thinking we're going to blast through it. I think the majority, I would probably say 70 or 80% of people out there think we're going to get rejected by it. Um, over the next week or two. I'm kind of waiting for the next rate hike, pretty much, right? They feel like we're going to get rejected from it. That's going to help Bitcoin out, right? But again, that meeting, I think it was. Does it say when the next? Yeah, the Fed is expected to increase rates by 50 basis points at its May 3rd to 4th meeting, as well as June and July. So, if that happens on May 3rd through 4th, that meeting there, um, I just wonder if that's when you might see Bitcoin take a little bit more of a hit or something like that, right? But when is May 3rd? I mean, like, what day is that? That's next Tuesday. So, you know, if we have to wait until next Tuesday before a big move down, if I was a whale, I might try to get back up here to 42,000 before ultimately, doing some type of bull trap and screwing a whole bunch of investors. There's been a lot of bull traps here. Bull trap right there, double top. A lot of nasty moves over the past few months, of course, right? And the longs haven't been too particularly happy. The only longs that have been happy are the people like us who have kind of been accumulating for longer term positions, but at the same time trying to do some swing trades in there as well. But even though swing trades have been getting harder and harder to trade, the last really good swing trade I was able to do was the breakout above this. Oops, not that one. Microphone's in the way. There we go. Right? That breakout was fine. That led to some good returns. And then going into the Fibonacci extension level right here from a while ago, right? Ran right into it, or if you wanted to go from where the trend started, you could have gone right there, running into that one as well. But for the most part, we haven't had the craziest time making tons of profits like an altcoin season or something like that. That's more of what I'm really excited about down the road. But in order to do that, we just kind of have to wait, and I think we're going to see a lot of these altcoins drop off before that happens. I think the altcoin market is a little too expensive. I'd rather see some of that money flowing back into Bitcoin, to be frank, because there's a lot of crappy coins out there. But I mean, let me see if I can find anything here that's been around for a while. What's a coin that's been around for a while? Maybe Sol? Here's one that's been a while for Doge. So, um, even in Doge's history, back in 2020, remember Doge rocketed up from the lows 157%, but from the highs, it came down about 76%, so forth, right? These monster moves came back down a little bit, big move up, came back down. You know, a lot of these altcoins that have been around for a while, you see these nasty patterns, but at the end of the day, if you just kind of hold through it, you get to the promised land up here, and Doge isn't even done kind of booming up, right? The problem with Doge right now is it just has a high market cap, so it's not going to have those big parabolic moves until the market is absolutely doing something really parabolic itself, right? Um, but STMX, how old is that one? Yeah, 2020. See, even STMX had a nice little pop up of about 130, 140%, only to come back down after a bigger drop, about 60% right here, right? And you saw how fast these drops kind of happen. Right now, it seems like we're just taking these more prolonged moves out of here, and it's definitely been a pain. And even it's not even honoring its. Oh, this actually wasn't a break. I don't know what the heck that was from. There you go. We never broke out of that one. But yeah, so we broke out this one. That was a nice move right there. That took us right to resistance, and actually two levels of resistance there. Huh? And now we're breaking down from this one. And you are seeing a lot of breakdowns happen in the altcoin market, and that kind of isn't good for Bitcoin because sometimes the altcoins start breaking down well before Bitcoin does. A good example of this here is if I can go side to side with Bitcoin here on the. Oh, I need to get on a different Bitcoin chart though, don't I? This is a weekly chart versus a weekly chart. What's this right here? April 4th. No, this isn't a good example here. Oh no, it's fine. You see the death cross on STMX happened all the way over here at January 3rd, leading to like a larger move. So we got that huge move right there. The death cross for Bitcoin didn't happen until March 14th. So March 14th for Bitcoin, January 3rd for altcoins. And you saw how after this death cross here for this particular coin, we dropped down a total of like 54% for STMX. Following the death cross here, you know, we didn't get that big warning, I guess you would say, right? That big warning, because it would have, if it was following the same type of things, we would have known there was a big drop coming way back over here. So what day was this? Was that January 3rd? January 3rd for us was right here. So when everything started really going bad, there was no sign that we were going down here except for the head and shoulders play that we're looking at. So totally different thing. But the moving averages on the altcoins have been much more useful, if that makes sense. I think I articulated that kind of clearly. Sorry. But yeah, sometimes you get those warning signals in the altcoin markets well before. You know how sometimes Ethereum can break down one day before Bitcoin has a major meltdown? Similar to that, but like gives you more of an advanced warning, if you will. Kind of showing that money is getting pulled out of the altcoins a little bit more than you might think it is. All right. And back over here. Go. Here's the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. You can see it trying to get back up here just to break out again. Trying to. We'll see if it does. Do I think XRP will be used to create the new U.S. digital dollar? I don't know. I hello, uh, bro. What are you doing? Um, yeah, they're staring at you. Um, I don't know. I think the SEC kind of soured some stuff up, and I don't know how progressive Democrats are going to be about crypto. I for the most part, I haven't heard many Republicans really say anything negative about crypto. I've seen a lot more Democrats saying negative things about crypto. Now they've been saying it kind of in a way of like defense of poor people, which there are some things that crypto needs to be regulated on, but I think they're using it more as a political punching bag right now. The left is rather than a practical thing that can be used to help people. Um, so I think if anything big is going to happen with XRP and the digital dollar, would actually has some type of benefit, right? I think what might need to happen first is a change of administrations, or at least a change in either the House or the Senate to some of those financial committees, and that may help it a little bit more. But I don't know if it's going to be XRP or if the federal government will actually just try to do everything in house and make it a disaster. Because I think doesn't it make more sense that the United States would try to turn something like that into a disaster first before looking for outside help? We'll see. Dude, stop licking my hands. There you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. You want a treat? Here. I'm gonna throw the treat in the hallway, so you gotta go run and get it. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. He's really in a lovable mood today. Mostly because we didn't get to go to the dog park. He's furious about it. Let's see. Hey, David. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's going to use nukes, Russia, but Putin. But I do know he's feeling more and more trapped day by day because his military sucks. Like, guys, can you believe how bad Russia's military is right now? That is absolutely embarrassing. Like, again, for my whole life, I've been taught that there are like a few big major world powers. The big ones seem to be America, Europe, China, and Russia. That was kind of the thing, right? Those were the big boys. Europe kind of being a unified front type of thing. And now, all of a sudden, within a few months, my whole perception of the strength behind Russia is gone. I think of Russia as some type of small little army. I don't even know what to think about Russia's army anymore. I used to think they could dominate. Like I used to think they could be a formidable force against Europe. Like take out the nukes, they could win the land war against Europe. Some type of crazy way like that, right? Now I know that Europe would whoop the butt with Russia. Like that is absolutely insane. And you know what? I think even China knows now that if they ever came down to it, they'd be able to beat the booty off of Russia as well, right? So I think it's just diminished Russia completely in the eyes of the world. You know, the Chinese are very practical. You know, their government is very, very practical. So I could see Xi Jinping just going like, look at this. This is like our little brother. This is like our little, you know, he's taking the small bus to school, right? I mean, that's what their viewpoint of Putin is going to be. Like, we're gonna be able to use this guy for whatever we want to. We also got South Korea. You know, China is really that major threat right now going into the long term. But Russia, like all the perceptions that I had of them growing up, I'm just like, you know, right? You just can't help but laugh, dude. What are you doing? I, yeah, okay. He just wants head scratches and licks and all types of good stuff. Yeah, you have a bit of food in your room. He has. I just bought his food for the month yesterday. Freaking his dog food was $95 for the 25-pound bag. He should be eating it all. Let's see. Hey, bye for enjoying my rants. Let's see. Hey Tony, time to accumulate in May. I'm gonna actually be really excited to see what happens in May, regardless if you know if I'm right or not. But if we do have a crash here, I'm taking a victory lap of saying I'm right. I'll say a walk of shame if I get it wrong, of course. But we'll see what happens there. That'll be a good time for me to really load up on a bunch of crypto here. Definitely because I want to buy a nice big house. I want to be able to build a nice big house when I get down to Belize next year, and this will go a long way to helping me with those purchases, right? Um, Hey, Crypto Hash. I've been shorting since my last like my last name is Schiff. God, whatever happened to that guy? He was really relevant. I think way back when March on Wall Street. There was a protest back in the day. Camp on Wall Street. Tech on Wall Street? No. Whatever it was. You know, the anti-Wall Street movement that came out from all the bailouts and stuff like that. I know he was really popular on that. I haven't heard from him much. I know he doesn't like Bitcoin, but I think his son really likes Bitcoin. So I'm like, cheers to the next generation of Bitcoin owners, right? There we go. Hey, Ingrid. Happy to see you back. What's right here? Hey, David. What about Cosmos Atom? As far as Adam's concerned, bro, bro, go. Yeah, go. Dude, I will put dogs on the TV. Yeah, he really wants to play. He knows we're about to go outside for a little bit. That's why. Um, as far as Cosmos, I think it's a long term hold. I don't own any of it right now. It's on my list of things to buy if we crash. But right now, it hasn't been good enough for me to want to hold more. Mostly because the social media following around it isn't as big or ravenous as I would like it to be. Otherwise, the project is fine. It'll make money down the road. I'm just not sure if it's going to make the parabolic money that I'm hoping for. But the risk kind of goes down a lot if we do have a big move. And I think right now, if I go to my spreadsheet, it would be like something like a $500 to $1,000 investment if it did crash with everything else next month. So I'd be willing to go into it pretty much more than like the normal $200 I do for other coins. So I think it'll be fine down the road. I think it's a nice safe play. But I'm and by safe I mean it'll go up hundreds of percents. I don't know if it'll go up thousands of percents if you understand what I'm saying there. So it's a good solid play. And if you guys haven't looked at it yet, I would actually encourage you guys to go look at the website. They're trying to do some good stuff over there, and I think they are doing they're meeting some timelines, which I do like. I hate when people are meeting timelines. Freaking Ethereum 2.0, how long ago was that supposed to come out? Stuff like that. I like when people meet their timelines. Even if they're a little bit late, they still kind of meet in the general time frame. I'm happy with it. Project Hamilton will be used to create the U.S. digital currency. Oh, I don't know. We'll see how all that turns out. And hey, Aaron, happy to see you back, man. China has a big army, but not like the American army. Mainly young 18 to 25-year-olds, male forced to serve their mandatory time in the military. Russia is very similar situation. Yeah, I believe that as well. My big thing is I think the Chinese have something to fight for. I don't know what the Russians are really fighting for right now, right? From a troop standpoint. Um, but I there's a reason. I think the American military is the best, of course. Just because I mean as Americans, I think you guys don't understand how, or maybe we do. I think actually we do understand how much money we pour into our military for all this freaking high tech military stuff, like weapons and all that type of stuff. But my gosh, it'll be very interesting to say the least, though, how all this works out. But I guess that's why we all do these war games and stuff like that. And then of course, China has that little brother North Korea over there too, doing some crazy stuff. Let's see. Hey Tony, I'll work all the hours I can to get the fiat and buy all my favorite coins. I mean, that's a good thing to do, right? Now, don't put all of your money into crypto, of course, but yeah, if you want to, every paycheck you put a few $100 or $1,000 into crypto every 2 weeks, something like that, it really does pay off in the long run. In the long run, it really does pay off. People don't like waiting for the long run, but remember, the safest thing you guys could do always is to buy Bitcoin. If you guys want to put some more risk on there, you can always kind of move over to Ethereum. But I think other plays like I like Ethereum Classic because it's on Robinhood and Webull, and it can have a parabolic move during the next altcoin season because it's on those major exchanges. Um, STMX is one of my favorites as well. I'm hoping STMX can make it onto one of those other markets as well, on those other exchanges. Doge Elon right here, right? I'm hoping that can happen. I'm also hoping that Elon Musk can buy Robinhood because it's like oh, actually Robinhood went down actually a little bit today, guys, as well because I spent like couple $1,000 on Robinhood today. Um, I'm hoping to buy even more, but this is a long term play for me. But where's the hood? Um, market cap is now down to 8.62 billion. Musk could buy that easily if he wanted to. Now, I think he might. I think if it was him, I'd kind of wait a little bit longer. But not even to manage it, just to own it, and then later on he can do something with it once he's kind of fixed up with Twitter and stuff like that. But I don't think Twitter is going to take as much as Elon's time as I think the media is kind of putting it out to be. I feel like people think that Twitter is going to be his like full time gig or something like that. He's just going to kind of give it guidance and tell them to go with some upper level management stuff like, hey, okay, let's look at this. How's this working out? How's this being perceived? How the advertisers liking this? How is free speech being represented? Those basic kind of things. Then I think he's going to spend most of his time on Tesla and SpaceX still. But if he can, I kind of want him to buy Robinhood. But that's not as likely right now, of course. But I need to tweet at him one day when he's tweeting, and I kind of have a tweet storm like, "Hey, Elon, buy some Robinhood or buy Robinhood for us," something like that. Or even just a 10% share in that would freak a lot of people out too. He's getting control of the money in the markets. It'd be crazy. I would love it though. What do I think about a percentage of alts having a bull run in 2022? So I think there's a good chance for a run in 22. My big thing is I don't know exactly what that will look like. For me right now, if you're asking me what I think a bull run looks like, is I think that Bitcoin will somehow crash down to the 200 weekly moving average like we normally do after a big, massive move in the market. So for me, look at this. If we go over here to the weekly charts, this isn't the Bitcoin chart I want. There you go, longer term. So when we kind of do these big runs, we have a death cross, right? And that death cross usually is preceded by a larger move down. We kind of run into this 200 weekly moving average. And then following that, we have these really nice runs where Bitcoin goes up like 287%, not even going back up to all-time highs, but it's still doing pretty well. This rally kind of went up all the way here to like 169%, still doing pretty well, right? But we have these big crashes kind of down here to the 200 weekly moving average, if you will. If you go over here to the monthly chart, we kind of get close to the 50-month moving average. So kind of in that general vibe area, kind of area, if you will. I think the 200 is more realistic because we kind of tap on it. Even if we go down below at this one, we still kind of tap on it. And so I think more realistically, if we do have one of these nice bull runs in the altcoin market or just the market in general, it would look something more like from this point to here, rather than something like this to this with these big mega ones. I don't know if it's going to be a mega run, but I like an altcoin season. But I would consider it being a good run where, hey, your altcoins, if Bitcoin's giving you like 250% returns, maybe it'll only be like 150 or 200% this time if we do have a crash. Because think about this: if Bitcoin falls back down here to the 200, let's say it happens over here, and we fall down to like 24,000 or so. If Bitcoin just gets back up a little bit, back up here to the, like, not even to all-time highs, but let's just say $65,000, we're already up 187%. That's where I think the altcoin run is most likely going to happen. So I don't know if it's going to be like more of an altcoin season, but because for that to happen, we'd have to hold this level, have the dollar index go down from here, get rejected very, very hard, and then kind of keep on this movement upwards, right? Which during a recession, which I just don't know if that's going to happen, right? But if we do have this tanking, I think it's more realistic to see us having a major recovery that looks more like a bull run rather than us actually just going up straight from here, if that makes sense. So I still think we need to have the drop. And both of these came after death cross. So death cross here, 50 and the 20. So the 20 crossed down below the 50, boom. 50 crossed down below the 20, like within a week, boom, right? Back over here, death cross happened way back over here. This is 2014. Boom, 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 back down to the 200 freaking moving average here. I think I'm the only YouTuber talking about the 200 moving average on the weekly chart. So if I do well and this actually works out, I'm claiming all the street cred I can. I'm gonna have to go back in all these videos and screen record me talking about all this stuff. So like, I told you guys this over. I mean, I probably told you this concept, this kind of theory of mine, probably over 100 times now. But I bet only a few, maybe like 10, 15,000 people that kind of stream through here have ever actually like heard about it. So maybe that's enough. But that's what I'm really hoping for here. It's what we do. It's what we do, right? Even way back over here, we had a death cross, but that didn't really do anything afterwards because it was kind of late to the party here. But this is kind of back in 2011 when the market was like kind of a different beast, if you will. But more over here when we had more realistic movements in the price, like 2014, even that was kind of iffy. But going back over here to 2018, 2020, back over here now, I'm just much more bearish about Bitcoin because of some of those types of things, as well as when you put it up here, when we break down below the 20-month moving average, which we're most likely going to do this month or next month, because this chart just kind of symbolizes that, right? Or it's rare that we have a great green candle off of a formation like that. That's a better way to say it. We usually have big moves down. Big move down after breaking down below the 20, broke down below the 20, big move down, broke down below the 20, big move down. And those match up exactly with all the weekly death crosses that we just talked about, right? So I think if we have a major run in the altcoin market this year, it'll be because we've tanked. Bitcoin will have tanked and did something that looked really nasty. People would have been freaking out left and right? And then on that rally back up, that's where you're going to be making all that money. So what I'm doing right now, and it's what I did back over here as well, is, I'm still buying altcoins and crypto at these levels. Not a lot, but I'm still buying them. Every week I buy a little bit more crypto. Some days when we have bigger dips, I buy some crypto. I buy. Not a lot, but I buy. Because in case for some reason we have a big move out of nowhere, I want to be in the market more than just my longs. But what I'm buying right now is in anticipation of some type of large move in the future. So if we do make it down here, instead of buying like maybe $500 of this crypto, $500 of this crypto, $200 of this crypto, $100, if we get down here and we get down to like 25,000 or 27,000, $1,000 of that crypto, $2,000 of that crypto, $5,000 of that crypto. My purse, so to speak, is going to be open, and just cash is going to be like going to whatever projects I feel are going to give me the best returns on whatever future rally we see. And there are a couple examples of this, like will we have a strong recovery where we break down, but within 42 days, about a month and a half, we're already back to the pre-crash level, and we're kind of just going sideways from there? Are we going to do something more like that, where it takes us like literally like only like a month and a half, not even a month and a half? Or is it going to be something where, hey, before we get back up to those pre-crash highs, where it's going to take us like 147 days, like half a year? Which way it's going to happen, who knows? If I were to guess, and this guess is not really educated by anything more than just the chance that we're going to probably go into a recession, I would assume it might be something that looks more like this right here, right? But the counter argument to that is maybe with a recession comes the opportunity for the dollar to become weaker, and therefore kind of help out Bitcoin price a little bit, and the fact that maybe institutional investors would take on some of the bags from retail investors. Because if we have a crash like this, guys, or we have a crash like this, kind of following the pattern that we normally have after a really good market cycle, a really good bull run, you guys know. I mean, you guys have been with me for a long time. Some of you guys are new. Some of you guys have come weekly or whatever. But you guys understand like some of the basics as far as crypto and how to trade it right now. After watching this channel and many other channels on YouTube, you guys understand that when we have a major dip, it's a great buying opportunity. It's a great buying opportunity for the long-term benefits of crypto, right? For your portfolios and everything. There are a lot of other people that come in here every now and again. They really don't want to learn technicals. They just want to make a quick buck. And that's like 90% of investors. They just want to make a quick buck in the market. Those are the people that are going to freak out when we drop, and they're not going to buy because they're going to be too freaking terrified. Because, guys, in this perspective, look at it like this. You may buy Bitcoin right here. You may start buying it right there, and it like less than like let me go right here. Like 40% down from where it was just a few weeks ago. You'll buy it, and then from the moment you buy it, it may actually fall down. The heck. There you go. It may fall down another 40% from where you buy it. It may fall even more. And you're going to have the willpower to actually hold through that move. Otherwise, it's just going to be a complete disaster, because you may buy here, sell here, freak out. And that's what most traders are going to do. They're going to freak out really fast, sell. And then if you just hold on long enough, everything will be just fine. But, do you have the willpower to hold on? That's really the question here. And then it comes to the fact, well, we have the 200 weekly moving average. That's what I'm going to be using for a lot of my purchases here. But you also have certain things like if we use let's look at this one. Trend-based Fibonacci extension, where the trend really kind of just take off right here. Let me get the magnet back on here. Back up here, pulled back down. The 200 is right over here, right with this one. So that's the 20,000 one. We have the Fibonacci level over here. This is extend like where we might actually, where we might be going up to. But yeah, this is one we're using farther back in time, of course. But you get my point. There's going to be some cool levels here for us to trade. Probably better for the retracement levels, since we're just going to be going with long-term stuff. But, we tapped right there on it. It worked pretty well for us. As far as this last one, it still worked pretty well for us right around here. We kind of held this area generally, right? But now we have this one right here. Okay, so there. And guess what? This next Fibonacci level also kind of matches up with the 200 weekly moving average. Now, maybe that means we're going to have a nasty wick that goes down below it. We'll see. Or maybe we're just going to have to use this one right here. And that means get rid of that one. And that one's a little bit higher. So maybe that will go on down to $23,000, $24,000, $25,000. It's going to be harder. Maybe we can just go up from the start of the rally here, and it still kind of works out for this bounce because we held. Maybe we're just coming down to $26,000, $27,000. There's plenty of opportunities here, but I'm going to start buying at $30,000 at this major level of support over here, then $28,000 from the lows of last year. I'm going to start buying at more at 27, 20. I'm buying the whole way down. It's just the further we go down, the more I buy. I guess that's the easier way to say this, right? So there's a lot of opportunities here, but there's a lot of data that you guys have to look at to kind of make your own decisions on what you're looking at. I think the easy way to go about it is just say, hey, 200 weekly moving average. we seem to just tap on that just fine. To, I mean, we may go down below it, but at least we come into contact with it. And if we come into contact with it this time, that seems like a good place as any to buy if you guys want to take the easy road without actually looking at all the fibs levels and everything like that, right? Um, Maybe one other thing here is no, that's about it. As about as far as how all that may actually end up working out for us all, and if we do have a larger move down, right? If we do have a larger move down, I want to stress I'm not right all the 100% of the time, but if we do have something like that happen, I'd be very happy to be able to buy and accumulate those levels. Let's see, see, and hey Zachar, ARPA, what is that? ARPA, ARPA. It had a breakdown. It's in a nice downtrend at the moment. I wouldn't really be touching this until it broke out of that trend right there. Yeah, every single time you add a new trend line to this sucker, it just kind of breaks down, doesn't it? Just broke down a couple days ago as well. Um, I mean, even if you went to the body of the candle, it still broke. Yeah, it still would have broken down right there. Yeah. As far as this is concerned, it still looks pretty bearish here. On the fib levels, it just tapped on the Fibonacci level right there. I don't know if you guys see that. Maybe I can zoom in for you a little bit more. Yeah, it just tapped on that Fibonacci level, so that was a good buying opportunity if you wanted to take it. But I think in the long term, you may see this come back down even more. So just because of this potential crash that we may see, but it had a good job of following Bitcoin, kind of like you can kind of feel the shoulder there, the head there, and kind of the shoulder right there. Um, I think long term this will probably be fine. I don't know much about the actual project, but it's been doing the same type of thing for a while, right? It just seems like right now it's getting hit a little bit harder than it normally does. Nice little rally, pop, rally, pop. Now it's in a rally, it's coming back down, but now it looks like it wants to come down even more. And even if I go over here to the weekly chart, is that a yeah, the weekly chart, you see double top, top, top. We're breaking down below the neckline now. So be careful of this going forward. Long term, if the utility is fine, if it actually does something, I'm sure it'll be fine. But be careful in the short term. You may see this get hit pretty hard. And this is going back to that bearish Bitcoin kind of look out, right? And hey, Robin, thank you very much for the super chat. I really, really do appreciate it. I truly mean that. Thank you very, very much for the super chat, man. See. Hey Tony, I like small cap coin tape. Looked at Dirk Aduris, horse racing gaming token so cheap now, $50 million market. I will actually look at that. I do like horse racing. When I was growing up, I actually liked to use horse racing quite a bit. I like to do horse racing quite a bit. Excuse me. No, I don't like. I used to go to the horse races and with my sister and family, and I used to buy everybody, the sandwiches and all the other overpriced stuff. So I will actually look at that. Hey Tony, put that in the Discord chat if you can. I want to look that one up. That's something I could pop in a few $100 and just for the fun of it. Because I haven't been able to go. COVID kind of messed up the vibe for horse racing for me because of all the masks and stuff like that. So I just didn't go. But I think I would like to see it or at least learn more about that coin, especially if they can make a deal because a lot of the gambling around horse racing isn't just about the horse racing association and stuff like that. A lot of it just goes through casinos. So I might be interested if they can find a way to kind of partner with casinos, if that makes sense. And no worries, Caesar. Hey, no worries, BR or BM, excuse me. What did I do on this one sheet? If you can do it, that's good. But you can always make copies of the sheet and have one that's meant for shorting, one for longing, one for day trading, one for swing trading. And so we can break it up like that if you want to. But if you're just going for the long term plays, yeah, you can definitely have that on one other one, or you can even combine it with some of your other ones. But keep it organized. That's the one. That's the one thing right there. Hey, like, how is Polygon not doing good after Robinhood listing? Specifically, that's just because the market has not been performing well. So it got a short-term boost, same with Sheeb when it got posted on those apps. But ultimately, those coins kind of they stick to what Bitcoin's doing for the most part. So when Bitcoin goes down, they go down. When Bitcoin goes up, they go up. Right, so they got a short boost off of the news, which is fantastic. Those coins will be very good down the road during the next altcoin season, just like Dogecoin, Matic, Dogecoin, and Ethereum Classic, right? Uh, but for now, they are still correlated to Bitcoin. And until Bitcoin starts with an altcoin season where those altcoins kind of go berserk, you're going to see it kind of follow along with Bitcoin's prices, which unfortunately right now have been pretty bearish. So that's the main reason they haven't had a massive pop just yet. Nobody wants to really be buying stuff. And another way to view this is there also isn't enough. A lot of retail traders have kind of slowed down their more aggressive buying in this market because everybody kind of has the vibe where there's a lot of feeling that maybe we might go down even more, and people are kind of worried if they buy now, they may lose money or they might not have the best buying opportunity. Because remember, a lot of the people that use Robinhood, they're newer traders, right? So they only think about buying once, or maybe buying twice, maybe buying one or two dips, and that's it in crypto, and then kind of waiting to see what happens. But if it keeps on going down, they sell it and they take the loss. A lot of us here, we will keep on buying and buying and buying with the understanding if we hold for a while, it may take a few weeks, it may take a few months, it may take a year, that money will, oh Jesus, sorry, I got a notification in my ear. You're going to see some, oh geez, that really did scare me. Yeah, but you'll see some really great returns, but you have to wait for them. And if you think about it, it's definitely worth the wait. But I mean, if you go day by day looking at that red portfolio, it can really get you down. Like it can really be bad for the mood, if you will, right? And Bitconomy is a good investment for 3 months. Um, I wouldn't say really anything is a good investment for just 3 months. Mostly because there's a chance we may have a big crash here coming into May with the federal rate hikes and the opportunity for the dollar index to kind of skyrocket. Um, if you want to get into that project, I would probably say try to hold it for more than 3 months. I think if you hold anything for 3 months right now, you may just lose money or break even. Maybe have a small chance of returns. But if you're looking to buy into it, if you're looking to buy into it for long term purchase, you're going to be hoping that this is the bottom and we kind of found our low here because we're still in the trading in this channel as far as Bitcoin's concerned. You're hoping that this is the low and the dollar index is going to get rejected. Some of the recession fears are kind of unfounded. You think, well, maybe not going to head down to that path. And then, then the price of Bitcoin will kind of soar. That's what you're really hoping on if you're just going to be buying something and holding it right now for 3 months out. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying. It doesn't have much to do with the technicals here as far as what most likely is going to happen in the world over the next few months. And hey, Bideford, have a good rest of your night. And hey, Bro Science. And what do you call? I'm actually gonna call it a night as well. It's been 2 hours stream. I got to take Loki out, and I have a meeting after this. Actually, I'm talking with somebody very fast. So I will see you guys tomorrow. 7 p.m. again tomorrow. I think I'm gonna move some stuff over to 7 p.m. right now because I'm getting a little bit busy in the middle of the day. But uh, how much Twitter can Doge with the tipping? Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It's going to be more about what Bitcoin's price is right now, and then later on, when Dogecoin becomes less inflationary or inflationary, I think it'll grow up much faster. That's why Dogecoin for me is such a long term thing here. But maybe next year we'll have something really good with Dogecoin, or the end of this year, actually, right? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I'll be streaming tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. again. I need to give my throat a rest though because it's starting to get really raspy and choky. So thanks everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, thanks.